Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about Language Proficiency Exam. This is the second episode of my PLAB series, so keep watching. Alright, so before we dig into the details of IELTS and OET, I want you to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever the video is out. So, let's talk about IELTS. What is IELTS and what is the required band score and what you need to study for it. So what is IELTS? IELTS is basically International English Language Testing System that's conducted by British Council and AEO worldwide, and it consists of 4 subsets: listening, reading, writing and speaking. It's the same in OET. 4 subsets over there as well. There is a reading, there is writing, listening and speaking. However, in IELTS, IELTS could be divided into academic and general training. But what to select when you are going for PLAB? The answer is pretty simple. You need to go for IELTS academic because general training, as the name suggests, is for general social purposes, whereas academic is for higher level education or if you want to work somewhere where the medium of language is English. So what are the skills they are testing? They're basically testing your 4 skills. Number 1, your reading skills. Number 2, your speaking skills. Number 3, your listening skills. And number 4, your writing skills. We'll be discussing just an overview, all these parts consist of and how to attend them. So before we start talking about each subset individually and what to expect on the exam day, let's talk about how you're going to be scored. So basically, each subset is individually scored from a band between 1 to 9, and then there is an aggregate of all the subsets. So how much do you need for PLAB? For PLAB, basically you need 7 in each skill and 7.5 overall. So 7.5 will be the aggregate. Let's talk about listening and speaking. So how to improve your listening and your speaking skill? Remember, a good listener is always a good speaker. So basically the listening section will last 30 to 45 minutes. You'll be given 10 minutes extra to copy your answers from the question sheet to the answer sheet. You'll be given a separate answer sheet in IELTS. Alright, what to expect from the listening exam? So there will be an audio played, but remember the audio will be played only once, so you have to listen very carefully. The question might come off as multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks question, complete the map question or complete the cycle questions. Speaking skills. So what to expect on speaking skills day? First of all, you'll have a separate allotted day for speaking test. You will be given 3 different cue cards, each containing different tasks, different questions, set of questions which you have to read and answer while conversing to the examiner. Remember, don't ask the examiner how much you have scored because there will be an audio recording over there. They will record each and everything and you will be scored on what you have said later on, right? So, the speaking module will basically have questions about daily life activities. Like for me in my exam, they had simple questions, for example, a place you cannot forget, a place you have enjoyed a lot, something about nature, something about like general life questions. Now, how to improve your listening and your speaking all together? First thing that you can do is watch English movies, especially the documentaries, because you'll catch a lot of good words from there which you can use in your daily life to improve and boost up your confidence. Whereas other thing that you can do, you can listen to some TED Talks and some podcasts that also help not only with your listening skills but also when you use those words in your daily life, again it will boost up your confidence. Alright, let's talk about the 2 toughies of IELTS, reading and writing. I have seen a lot of people failing in writing subsets, so we'll talk about writing a bit later on. Let's talk about reading first. So, what you need to do to improve your reading? The first and foremost thing that you need to do for improving your reading skill is that start reading. Read anything that you find, either your primary school book or your MBBS book, anything you find, just start reading it. That's the most important thing. for me, what I was recommended was, if you're living in Pakistan, you guys can find it easily. It's also available online if you guys want to read it, the Dawn newspaper. So what do I love about Dawn newspaper? It not only helped me improve my vocabulary, but I also learned, making sentence structures. Like where can I use some short sentences and where to form complex and long sentences. So what to expect from the reading section in your IELTS exam? There will be 3 texts, part A, B and C, and each of them tougher than the previous one. So you have to allocate your time according to their difficulty level. I would highly recommend giving only 10 to 15 minutes to part A because it will be a simple text, whereas part B and C are a little difficult, so you can allocate 20 and 25 minutes respectively to each of the texts. Right. Coming to the questions, there can be fill in the blanks, there can be multiple choice question, and the most difficult one is true, false and not given. How to start and how to attempt your reading section, I'll give a few tips for it. Number 1, always start with part A and always label or number your number of paragraphs. Next, what you can do is, once you have numbered all the paragraphs, start skimming. Give only 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes by skimming. What do we mean by skimming? So skimming is basically you are just running through the lines and underlining any pronoun or any date you find so that it will be helpful to match the answers. So next what you have to do is do the same thing with the questions. Read the questions for part A, do the skimming and underline any dates or any pronoun or any quotes you find over there, and then you can match because you have skimmed it already in part A. You can match and go to that paragraph, read that paragraph and get your answer over there. I hope that helps for reading part. If it does, do let me know. Now, talking about the writing section, the most horrid one. Right. So for the writing section, what you need to do, you have to remember 3 things. First of all is called as ethos, secondly is logos, and number 3 is pathos. So what are these things? Ethos is basically developing a credibility for your passage. Number 2, I talked about logos. Logos is actually writing down the statistics. Whatever you're writing, add on an example and add statistics to that example. When you add on the statistics, your passage will come out differently from other candidates. Number 3, pathos. Pathos is actually when you add feelings or emotions to that passage. For example, if you had said something in the paragraph, give an example and add an emotional story as an example over there. That also helps improve your passage writing. Now, what about tenses and sentence structures? How much grammar to use? How many structures to use over there? Well, for that, I would recommend doing one thing which I used to do during my time. Take a Cambridge IELTS book. I have mentioned everything in the description below, so you can check out all the links and all the books you need to study for IELTS. Take the Cambridge book and you go to the last pages of that book. You'll find an example answers over there, example passages over there. Read that passage, underline all the tenses you find in single passage. Should be around 12 to 14, okay, including all the sentence structures. Once you have underlined them, write it down on a paper, and whenever next time you're writing your essay, you just try to mention all these tenses, try to use them all, and you'll see how different your writing has become. So the next important dilemma is whether to book your test with British Council or with AU. Although a lot of people think that the AU examiners are quite lenient and they have a great passing ratio, but I would personally recommend booking with British Council. For one thing, they arranged a pre-test for us that was conducted in the similar manner the real exam is, that helped reduce a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety that I had on me before taking IELTS exam. Alright guys, so our video has come to an end. We'll be continuing OET in our next video. That will be the part 2 of IELTS versus OET, so that we'll have a complete discussion of how to attempt OET, where to go to get your letters checked. Everything will be discussed in our upcoming video. If this video was helpful, do comment in the comment section, like this video, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.